Hello everyone and welcome to our Divi feature update live, coming to you every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Today I have a very interesting update. In fact, this is one of my favorite updates. And this update is all to do with our Divi layouts and how now they can now be accessible through the Divi Builder itself. And to start off with, we have over 140 layouts. So this is what we're going to be discussing today, and I'm really excited. So we are broadcasting on both YouTube and also on Facebook. So throughout this broadcast, if you have any questions, please do leave your questions in the comments box below, and I will do my best to answer those questions. So let's go through the things that we're going to be discussing in today's live show. So as I mentioned before, we have over 140 pre-made layouts which can be now loaded inside the Divi Builder. So we had a predefined layouts before option, but now these are now called pre-made layouts, which I'll also demonstrate and show you how these work. Now these layouts are complete website packs. Now what do I mean by that? So these layouts, let's say, for example, in fact, you may know that these layouts that we give away every Monday are complete layout packs. They have an average of 6 pages, which are your home page, your about us, landing page, contact page, and so on. So these layouts come in packs, which means you can just use this easily. Also, these layouts come with original photography and also illustrations. And now, because these are all our photography that we've produced in-house, you can absolutely use these in your commercial projects, which again is a fantastic thing. Now, what I'll also do is I'll show you the difference between what we had before in the pre-made, in the predefined layouts, and what we have now in the pre-made layouts. Also, we can browse through these layouts in the actual Divi Builder. So I'll also show you how that works. Now these layouts are free to all our customers. Now we normally do all these layout packs every Monday. You can download them every Monday and then install them onto your website. Now you don't have to do that anymore because they will be automatically added onto your library, and you don't even need to update Divi. You know, they'll just be in your layouts. So that's pretty cool. So before we get started, I'll just like to say we are broadcasting on Facebook and also on YouTube. And as I mentioned, if you do have any questions, you can just drop your questions in the comments box below. Already, I can see there's a lot of you already tuning in, and I usually like by giving out a shout out to those that have been joining us. So you can always, say where you're from, and it'll be quite interesting. So here we have Daniel from Hungary, Sheikh from Kuwait. We also have Robert from Germany. He says this feature is pretty cool indeed. Awesome. Usaid says hi, Mac. Hi, how you doing? We have Claf, I hope I'm pronouncing this well, from France. Awesome, very nice to see you on this live show. Oh, we have Hussein from London. Awesome. Now we have someone here from the United Kingdom. This is always good. Awesome. Then we have Anna Samati, I think, from Morocco. Thanks for tuning in. I hope I pronounced that well. We have Prashant from India, we have Atif from Norway, Busan from Morocco. Awesome. We have Tini from Netherlands. We also have Marcel from Netherlands. Awesome. This is amazing. Usaid says, I want to build 5 pages organization website with sliders. Please give me sample. In fact, Usaid, we are going to be going through these predefined layouts. This is a very good starting point for you to build your website. So this is what we'll be covering today. Freelancer says Max from Ukraine. Awesome. Okay, I'll just go over here to Facebook and see if we have any comments here. I know we have John who's just joined, John Anderson who has just joined us. We also have Fabio saying hi. Right. Okay, so now let's dive in and let's talk about this brand new feature. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Jens is from Barcelona. Thank you very much for tuning in, Jens. Nice to see you here. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how things were before the update and how things are now. So right now, I'm on this website, which I haven't updated, by the way. So for you to get this feature, you have to update to the latest Divi install, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so here all I've done is I've just come to a normal page. Just bear with me 1 second. I just want to make sure everything is okay. Oh my days, this happens all the time. You know, disturbing my live stream. Anyway, right. So if I come to this page here, this About Us page, I'm just going to click on Edit. Okay. So now we have this normal builder as we have before. If you click on Load from Library, this is what we had before. We had predefined layouts. Okay. Now this is gone. This is how we used to do things right from the beginning with these predefined layouts, and that's what we've called them. Now, the new way of doing things is, in fact, I'm going to come here to a site which I've updated Divi, and to update your Divi install, what you need to do is to come over here to Update. And click this a few times or refresh the page. This will show you, if there's an update. But the latest update is, I think, 3.0.1. But anyways, now, right now, everything is all up to date. So if I go to all pages, and let's say I even create a brand new one. Let's create a brand new one for that matter. So let's call this premade. Right? If I click on Use the Divi Builder, and then Load Layout, now you see a massive difference. Instead of having pre-made layouts as we have here in the old Divi, now we have pre-made layouts. And this area here is where we have all the layouts that we've given away for free every Monday, okay? And as I mentioned, we will be adding more to this. So let's explore this and let's take a look at what we have here. So first of all, this shows all the layouts in the library, okay? So if you want to take a peek into what this looks like, you can just click on it once like that, and then you have even more options. So here you can take a look at the About page by just click on it, and then here you have a nice preview which gives you an idea of what the page looks like. You can take a look at the blog here. You can take a look at the contact. So as you can see, as I'm going through this, it'll give me an idea of what the page looks like. Now, let's say you're not happy with how it's looking right now and you'd like to see the actual page, like how it would look like on your browser. This is where you can come over here to View Live Demo. So if I click on View Live Demo, now I see the complete page, which has everything. In fact, let me get rid of my camera there. Okay, so now this shows you the full page. So now you'll have an idea of what this page will look like. Okay, so I'm just going to close that and then come back over here. So if you're ready to use the layout, you can just click on Use Layout. But we're not going to do this right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click this little arrow to go back. And this takes me back to this area right here. Now, if you've already started using this, these pre-made layouts, I'm just interested how many of you knew about the update, and if you've already started using it. If you already started using it, please give me a 1 in the comments. I'm just curious to see if you've already started using this. If not, can you just please add a 2? Okay, now if you want to browse these layouts based on categories, again, we've made things very, very easy for you. So let's say you want to design a website, which is around a business website. All you got to do is to click on business, and then this narrows down everything, or all the relevant layouts which are in the business category. Okay. So these are the layouts in the business category. Now, if I go to, say, for example, education, you can see here that these are the two layouts we have in the education category. If I click on fashion, again, it narrows down, so you get the idea, which is fantastic. Okay, now over here, we also have a different view of actually viewing these layouts. Personally, I prefer to view them this way, but if you need to, you can change the view and have them as a grid like that, okay? Or you can just have them as, like that without the preview. But to be honest, I don't even know why you would want to have it this way, because there's no preview, to give an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my view mode. Okay, so let's take a look here and see. I can see now already Atif has 2, which means you haven't used it. Prashant 1. Okay, awesome. There's a question here saying, do we have an e-commerce layout? Again, I'll go and check if we have that. Okay, awesome. Now, we've got some questions here on Facebook. Raymond is from West New Guinea. Awesome. All right. Can we add our own packs into the library to show up in the same manner? Now, if you want to add your own layouts, yes, you can go in and add and import your layouts. Now, what I haven't tried is, if I import that layout, where does it go? Because normally it goes into the Divi library, okay? These are different. These are pre-made templates, okay? So we have the library where you import your own designs, and we also have the pre-made template. So these are 2 areas, but I would say if you import your own, they go into the Divi library, okay? So I hope I've answered that clearly. Ian Fletcher says, do you have a gym layout? Again, these are you'd have to go in and check. I'm not sure if we have a gym layout, but we'll go in and in fact, we might as well do that right now and check if we have that layout. So all you need to do is to come over here to the search thing and click on gym. Okay, so as you can see, no results. Okay, but this can be used to search for layouts. So as we add more and more layouts in here, you will notice that this is going to be populated by all sorts of layouts. So for example, here, if I click on restaurant, it then shows up all my layouts for my restaurant website. So this is a very good search feature. Now, this can also be used to search for the type of page you want to build. So let's say I want to build a home page, right? These are the layouts for a home page. And you can actually see here LMS home, wedding homepage, fashion homepage, and so on. If I need to create a contact page, for example, these are all the contacts page that we have in our database. So this is how this is used. Now, the other thing as well that I need to show you how to do this is to actually load this layout on one of our pages. So I'm just going to close this and then load it one more time. So this is our pre-made page. I'm going to click on, say, layout, pre-made layouts. So let's say I need to set up a contact page. I'm just going to search here for my contacts. And then if you need to load a contact page, depending on what sort of website you're building, all you got to do is to click on the actual contact page. So I'm going to click here to take a quick preview. And then to use the layout, all you got to do is to click on use this layout. Now, depending on your the speed of your internet, it just takes a few seconds, and then it loads up. But Bear in mind that it's loading this from our servers, so it does take a bit of time if you have a slow connection. So as you can see right now, it's still loading, but once everything loads, I'll have all the images, the CSS, and all the styling for that actual page. So it is still downloading now. Right now, I'm sure you can appreciate that I am also streaming at the same time, so it is going to take a bit longer. Okay, so I'll just leave this page as it is right now, as this is downloading. So this feature actually makes a lot of things, makes things a lot easier, because before, every Monday when we release our free layout packs, you would have to go in, download it, and then upload it onto your website. Now, the challenge that I have, and which I think you have as well when using these layouts, is they're not organized in such a way that is easy to find these layouts, especially when they are in your library. So the process of previewing them and trying to visualize what it looks like, I mean, that's really, you know, a challenge. So this, by having this now, it has made things much easier. So this is why I'm really excited by this update. Right. So as I mentioned, if you have any questions, please do drop your questions in the comments box, and I will do my best to respond to those questions. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look here and see if we have any questions. Toran says, can you make the preview area bigger? No, you can't make the preview area bigger, but if you want to take a look at the actual page that you're about to use, you can actually click on the actual page, on the link which shows you the preview in a full page. So that's what you can do. Okay. I think because of my my streaming, this is really taking a bit of time to load this layout. So I'll just leave this running. Let's go ahead to the questions now and see how this works. Right. We have a question here from Binay, I think. How to load multiple layouts without replacing the previous one. So if you want to load multiple layouts, you have to create different pages. So let's say you want a layout for a contact page. That page can only have one layout on it. You can't have multiple layouts on that specific page over and over again. Otherwise, your page is going to be way too long. So if you want to add different layouts, you just have to create different pages for that. And I hope I've answered that correctly. Can we update by downloading offline Divi file? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Prashant, that was the question. Can we update by downloading the offline Divi file? Not sure what you mean by that. Can you please rephrase that, and then I'll perhaps maybe try and answer that. Right, we have a lot more questions here on Facebook. So Oliver says, looks pretty awesome, but how about a category menu like landing page, about us, and so on? I think if we start having those categories like about us and so on, it really complicates the UI, because first of all, the workflow is, if you want to build, say, let's say a restaurant type website, you click on that layout pack and then it shows you what it has in that pack. So I think that way it makes things easier. So by grouping them in contact, about us, and so on, you will still go back to what type of about us page are you trying to build? Is it for a gym membership, a membership website? Is it for a restaurant website? So I think the way we've done it now makes it easier. But of course, we're open to making changes if it doesn't allow you, the user, to use this in an easy way. Okay. Rabba says, is there a Divi filtered image? I know that Divi has filtered portfolio. No, you don't have a filtered image. We have a filtered portfolio. Raymond says, do you have travel packages layouts? Again, if you want to see if the packs, the layout packs are there for your particular industry or type of website you want to build, you can just go in and search. Okay, you can just go in and do the search. This will show you what layouts you've got. Right, it looks like my internet here is not allowing me to load these packs, which is very frustrating. I'm going to try this one more time. Okay, so if you're just joining us, this is our Divi feature update live, coming to you every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. This is a show where we cover the latest updates to Divi in more detail to help you use these features effectively in your designs. So today we are talking about the Divi layouts that are made available inside the Divi Builder. So we're just covering all the main features and how you can start using these. Okay, so what I've noticed now here is my layout has been added. So now all I have to do is to click publish. Okay, and then I can now view the page like that. So now you can see that my layout has been added, which is fantastic. Okay, so what we can do now, as you can see that this layout has been updated, added to my page, you can now enable the Visual Builder and customize this to your liking. So right now I'm in my Visual Builder, so I can come in here and click my module settings. So here we can change the text. We can change that to why it all began, for example. You can save it, and you can just customize this the normal way by just going into our settings, changing the text. If you want to delete it, you can always delete the text like that. Save that. If you want to come in here, change the image, you can always go in, click upload. You go into your media library if you have all your images in the media library, and just add your images the way you would if you were working on your website. So now I've just added that. I can save it. I can change the color of these backgrounds. So if I come here, I can go into background, change this color like that easily. Okay. If I need to make further adjustments here, I can come into my text module here, design, text. I can make my text light just by clicking that. So you can do all these adjustments, but the most important thing here is you are actually starting off from a very good starting point, because you don't have to design each and every section or module, because these layouts give you a very, very good starting point. Okay, so let's take a look and see if we have any more questions here. Tanya says, I suppose that you can load the pre-made layout, save it to the library and repeat, then load them all into one page. Yes, that's another way of doing it. So thank you, Tanya, for helping us with that response. Appreciate it. I can't pronounce this name, but I think it's Ritwik. Says non-profit with donation module. Again, if you want to check which, if your layout is there, you just go and do the search. In fact, let me show you one more time where this can be done. So when you go into your, if you go into edit page, I'm just going to save and exit for now. Right. So when you start building your page, just come over here to layout, and then this search bar gives you an idea if the type of layout you're looking for is there. So let's say non-profit. Okay, you can see no results. So that just tells you that we don't have a non-profit layout pack. So that's all you got to do if you want to check to see if your layout exists. Rabba says, I'm a photographer and it will help my customer a lot if Divi can make a filtered image because I really want to use Divi for my website. Now, your filtered images, why don't you create a filterable portfolio and add those images that you need in those categories? I don't understand, how you want to filter the images. Maybe I'm missing something, but if you want to categorize your images, like say for example, landscape, portraits, and maybe fashion, right? For you to show these pictures or images, you have to allow your visitors to your website to click on that category, and that shows those images that they need. So having a filter on the actual image itself, I don't see how that would work. Maybe I'm missing something, so you could maybe expand on that. Okay. Fakes, I hope I'm pronouncing that well. The question is, all these updates are great. When can we expect to see something for header customization and design? Right, again, right now, behind the scenes, the design team, the development team, they are very, very busy, working very hard to make our Divi Builder and making Divi awesome. So these are all the updates that are coming up in the and they are also being in the process of being made. So you just have to keep an eye on that. We are releasing these updates regularly, as you can see. So we have a lot coming out. We have so many updates. We are in the process of updating right now and designing. So keep an eye on that. But definitely, we are going to be having all these updates to make Divi work much better for you. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here if we have any more questions. Toran says, can see myself loading a few of these pages just to save them to the modules and sections of my library and then modify them. Yes, this is how I would even use them. I would load up all these pages and then have them ready for whenever I need them. But the most important thing here is these layouts are professionally made, and these work as a very good starting point to start your design process. Because even me being a web designer, sometimes the thought of just designing everything from scratch, it's crazy because it's time consuming, and this just saves you a lot of time. And the fact that you can actually narrow down these pages and start off with a, let's say, for example, an about page. Imagine how fast it would be if you're designing websites for clients. This would be amazing. So I'm really excited about this update. Right, Mohammed says, please talk about project handoff to customers. Okay, I think that's a very, very, very important question. Now, when this update was announced, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, what if I'm a small design agency? I'm designing these websites, but I don't want my clients to see that I've used these pre-made layouts. So this question here was the one that was really that I really wanted answered. So I thought to myself, why not go into the roles and see what I can do? And you know what? It's amazing. You can actually disable these layouts when you hand off your website so they can't see it. In fact, rather than me talk about it, why not let me show you how it's done? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over here to my website and I'm going to go to my users, click on all users. I'm going to leave this page. We don't need it anymore. So here you can see I've created another user called Mac17. And I've added the role of editor to this, okay? And by the way, you can change these roles by just coming over here and changing the role to administrator, editor, author, whatever, right? So I'm just leaving here as editor, right? So what you need to do next is to go to Divi, role editor. Now you have all these roles. So let's say, for example, you had created, I had created Mac17 as an editor. I can now choose what he has access to. So right now I've set it as an editor. So what you can do here is to disable the Divi library completely, okay? So you can actually say, right, this user should not have access to the Divi library at all. So this is where you use this option here on the Divi library. Okay, you can also go ahead and disable even more things like split testing, page options, and so forth. Now here on the builder interface, what I've gone ahead and done is I've also disabled the load layout. So that means that this user, when he logs in, he won't have access to the option of loading a layout. And even further here, library settings, you can also disable add from library. So you can see how powerful this role editor is. You can specify what you need done when you hand off your website. And this is also a question that I noticed on BJ's show on Friday, where a user asked the question, what happens if you don't want your clients to see these layouts? And again, I'm just going into more detail now just to say, you know, this can be done. So now that I've added these roles, let's go ahead now, log in and see what happens if I log in as the other user that I've just created. Right, so here I have to open up this browser here where I have logged in using this new user. So if I come over here to pages, click on add new, and let's say I'm here, I'm trying to add a new page. We're going to call this new page. Click on use the Divi Builder. Now, can you see straight away, there is no option for you to load the pre-made layouts. So this is how powerful this is. You can actually disable it completely. Now it's not even showing at all. And then if I come over here, you can enable it if you want them to see it. But as you can see, we've completely disabled it. So this is how you would set it up. And you can even go in more detail and specify what else you don't want this user to have access to. So you are protected. So if you're a design agency, this is awesome. You can actually stop people from seeing these layouts. So if you're just joining us, this is our Divi feature update live, coming to you every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern. My name is Mac, and today we are talking about the latest feature, the Divi layouts, which are now available inside the Divi Builder. We've also covered the features and what it can do, but pretty much what we are saying here is you can access a lot of all these features now inside your Divi Builder. And also the one most important thing here is, like today, for example, it's Monday, we have a layout pack that's going to go out today. It's going to be added automatically into your pre-made layouts, and you don't have to update Divi to access these updates. So this is a really, really cool feature. And to be honest, this is one of my favorite features. It just makes things easy when it comes to building your websites. Okay, so let's take a look here if we have any more questions. So over here, again, Prashant says, please do reply about e-commerce layout. Now, please, as I mentioned before, if you want to check to see if a layout is available in the library, all you have to do is to, in fact, let me come over here to pages. Let's say I need to create a new page. If you load layout here, if you need to check if an e-commerce layout is there, you just come in here in the search thing and type e-commerce. Okay. As you can see, it's not there, but this search feature here is good because it allows you to search and see if that type of layout is there. And also here we have categories. So here we have online store. Okay, so these two layout packs actually have the layout store feature. So go ahead, update your Divi and search and find and see if this works. So here again, we have a tutorial that goes into detail and show you how to turn this layout pack into an e-commerce store. So go ahead, do that search and also use these categories to find out if that layout is there. Okay, let's take a look here if you have any more questions. We have a question here from Bob, and he says, what is Divi doing to preserve content after deactivating the theme? Right, to be honest with you, I don't have access specific information regarding that question, but all I can say to you is we are working on a lot of updates to improve Divi and make it easy for all our users to use Divi. So there's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes for that, but I can't be specific with that, Bob. So we have a question here from Rohan. Says, hi Mac, just a question on disabling the layouts for specific users. I think anyone that has access to the file system would be able to get the layouts anyway. No? Yeah, as I've just shown you, you can use the role editor to stop people from accessing these layouts just using the role editor. Okay, let's take a look here if we have any more questions. Tanya says, are these optimized for mobile, i.e. margins and paddings? The answer to that, Tanya, is yes. These layout packs are ready to go, they are professionally made, and they are optimized for mobile. Okay, so it looks like we don't have any more questions. Oh, hang on. Rohan says, yes, I saw that. However, if a person has access to the file system, they will have access to the files and layouts. Okay, so I think what you're referring to here is if they have the FTP access to the actual server. And yes, but in most cases, in fact, there's no way of not showing these, of disabling this feature, because FTP is FTP. If they have access to the actual files of the server, then yes, they would have that. But chances are they won't know how to enable it, from the file system. They will have them there, but they have to know what they're doing in order for them to go into the proper folders and say, right, this is the WP content, these are the layouts, and drill down into it. And even if they did that, it's difficult for them to then make it work on the actual website. So yes, they may have access to it, but how does the person now use it or activate it that way? They wouldn't be able to do that. So I wouldn't see that, to be honest, as a problem. And most cases, people that want a website designed means that they won't have a lot of expertise in that area anyways. So for them to start going into the FTP and finding these files, I think is too far-fetched. But you just never know. But like I said, access to these files when you hand off your website, the role editor is the best way to do this. But FTP, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. Oh, that's a very good answer from Tanya, by the way. She says, plus the pre-made ones are not in our own system. They are stored on ET servers. That's a very good point. So all these layouts are actually not stored on your server. So they're not there. Every time you use the layout, you'd have to download it from our Elegant Themes server. So that person won't have access to all these layouts. So Tanya, thank you very much for that once again, for helping me with that. I totally forgot that. So yes, unless obviously you download all these layouts onto your website, then they'll be sitting on your server. But if you're just building a single website for your client, that's the only layouts or the only files that will be there on your FTP, on your Sidefire FTP. So as I mentioned, thank you very much, Tanya, for that. Appreciate it. Let's take a look if we have any more questions. Right, it looks like we don't have any more questions. So let's round this off, and I'd like to say to everyone that joined me today again for this live show, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking your time out and hanging out with me as we discuss these live features. I'll be back again next Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern, so make sure you put an alert or maybe even in your calendar for that. So I'm really looking forward to that. We'll also be covering more Divi features in depth and show you how they're used, and also you can ask me questions on the actual show. So thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to next week's show. So take care and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.